Welcome to the Delco Nerd Network podcast. I am your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends in the Delaware County area, we get in a basement, talk about a certain topic. Today's topic is going to be the Oscars, the 92nd Academy Awards. Here to discuss for the first time, Mike Cloran of Delco.
How's it going?
Good, man. I'm glad to finally get you in here after doing some whatever letters for us. And, you know, I feel like I teed this up to you.
Short term,
Yeah, very short term. I feel like I teed this up to you a while ago about doing the Oscar podcast, but I'm glad we're sitting down, we're doing it. A good year to do an Oscar podcast.
Yeah, this was a much better year for movies.
I feel like across the board, I feel like every year at the Oscars is usually very hit or very miss, and most of the time it's very miss.
I think the last couple of years have been pretty weak as far as just like there's a couple movies at the top that people see, but I really think this year there's like 20 movies that I would actually recommend people, even like the average moviegoers, say.
Right.
Yeah.
So to start it off, I guess we're talking about broad scope. Mm-hmm. What did you think of this year's Oscars? I mean, this is the second year we didn't have a host, which I think was good.
I don't really care too much about the host. I kind of just like them going through all the movies. This year, the surprise was Parasite, obviously, but I really think there was like they couldn't have gone wrong this year with any of the movies. I don't think Parasite was the best movie, but they chose that. I literally have a list of like 20 movies that I think were better than the Oscar winners the last 2 years. So again, I wasn't gonna be like mad if they picked Parasite or any of these movies to win this year.
So what we're going to do, we're not going to go through all the awards because that would kill us. We're pretty much going to go through the main guys and pretty much, talk through them. So to start off, performance by an actor in a leading role. Of course, Joaquin Phoenix took that home. I kind of could have seen Leo winning for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I think Joaquin's, everyone knew he was going to win that award. And when I came out of Joker, my opinion was pretty much, he's going to win for Best Actor, but Joker will not win Best Picture.
Yeah, I guess it seems like, Heath Ledger won. It seems like people are just so impressed by someone doing a good Joker.
I know.
Which is, I thought
that is so the truth.
I thought he was really good. That wasn't like my pick. I'm like my impression of the Joker, I thought it was a good movie. My impression of the movie was like, I think it got this like early bump. Like it came out of, like the film festivals with some awards. I think people like went into the movie with their minds about this is gonna be a great movie,
right?
And I still thought it was really good, and I thought he was really good. I just didn't think he was the best, but he's a pretty amazing actor all across the board. So I'm not gonna cry wolf over it.
Right. We also had Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, which I didn't see that. That's Leo for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, and Jonathan Pryce in Two Popes. Did you see the Two Popes?
I did. I actually did see that. That I was like, just I put it on thinking it's a movie I would fall asleep to and just kind of write off, but it's actually pretty good.
I heard it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And it's pro-Catholic?
Yeah.
Which I think is weird.
They make Catholicism look a lot more progressive than it is.
It is? Okay.
But yeah, they kind of just paint the picture between, I forget their names already. Like I was a Catholic growing up. I'm not anymore, but I was kind of curious of how they would play
Benedict
that.
is now. Who is?
Yeah. It was Pope something. They have
no. Benedict was the one before. Francis is now.
Yeah.
I forget the numbers for Benedict, but yeah.
One guy's from Rome. One guy's German. The first guy, the older guy, and then the Pope, I guess now is from Argentina.
Yeah,
and they kind of just play their differences. It's really just a dialogue movie, but like if you like Hopkins, in like what's the show, like Westworld. Like I could watch a movie with that guy talking for 2 hours, and that's pretty much what it was. It was him and the guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I could listen to those
Jonathan
guys talk,
Bryce.
just dialogue for an entire movie. That's pretty much what it is. It's just
and those
guys going back and forth.
Right, those actors are like those roles.
If you like those guys as actors, you'll like that movie, even if you're not like religious or stuff like that.
I liked Marriage Story, but I don't think Adam Driver was like. I think he's good in it, but like not like best actor.
Yeah,
not at all.
I didn't. I actually thought he would win, but I agree. I don't. I thought that movie was good. It's a Noah Baumbach movie. It's like one of those. I don't want to say Archie, but like it's just like I kind of knew what that movie
slice
was.
Of life.
Yeah, it's like a real slice of life. I kind of knew what that movie was even before watching it. Like it's just going to be ScarJo and Adam.
This is going to be
one
upsetting.
big scene because they're going to divorce, and then that's pretty much what it was. I don't want to spoil the movie, but there's one big blow up scene where they kind of come together and lay it all out there, and that was kind of the defining moment of the movie, and that's what I thought would win him Best Actor. But they went with Joaquin.
I cried after that scene. That scene is tough. For somebody who has divorced parents, not anywhere near that situation. But like, I was like, oh, this movie's gonna either hit me one way or another. Next up, we have performance by an actor in a supporting role: Tom Hanks for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins in Two Popes, Al Pacino in The Irishman, Joe Pesci in The Irishman, and the winner was Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah,
it was kind of it feels like they kind of get. I mean, I think he got some of it a bump because he never won an Oscar before. I think they wanted to see him finally win one.
But
and he was really
he's
good.
Really good in that role.
Like this is another one that I don't think I don't really have a clear pick for this one. I think my pick was. I had Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse. I don't know if you saw that.
It's
a black
on my
and white
list.
movie,
Yes,
but
it's on my list.
Like that's a movie where it's just like two actors the entire movie, and it's like that's where I think they actually had to like act in a movie, and he was really cool. He played this like pre 1900s sailor on a lighthouse, and they like absolutely perfected the accent and the way they talked, and he was just crazy in the movie. I thought it was really good. But Pitt. I mean, Pitt was awesome. I watched that movie twice. That was one of the movies I
fucking love that.
Like
movie.
once I watched that movie, I was like, all right, I want to see this again, like immediately. Really? And he was a huge part of that, so I'm totally cool with him winning.
I'm just gonna say this now. Fuck The Irishman.
Yeah,
fuck that movie.
I love Scorsese, and I actually thought Pesci was gonna win too. But I think another big reason he didn't win is because I think the Oscars did the same thing with Stallone. Like I don't think Stallone was going to win the year he was in Creed. I thought he should have won, but he didn't. He chose not to attend the Oscars. I don't think they liked that. He said that early on. So they're not going to pick a guy who they know is not going to be there.
Right.
And Pesci, when he did win, he won Best Supporting Actor for Goodfellas, and he went up there and said like 2 words for his speech. So he's not like an Oscar-friendly person. He was in there because he's a legend, and they wanted to, kind of show appreciation towards him. But I knew he wasn't going to win because he wasn't going to show up. So they're going to get to a guy who's going to be there. Pitt was obviously really good, so it was.
So here's what I don't get out of this role is Tom Hanks plays Mr. Rogers. Isn't Mr. Rogers the main character?
I actually didn't see that movie yet either, but I'm guessing the guy.
I don't understand that.
I'm guessing the guy who
is
the movie's about him,
interviewing him.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the main character. I can kind of see that.
I was like, all right.
That's the other thing. Like even Pitt in a way is like he's kind of a co-main character. He's not like really a.
He's definitely the secondary character in the movie, but like you could definitely call him a main character.
Yeah, like I don't. If you said he's the lead actor in that, I would be like, oh yeah, right. Him and Leo are both leads. So
right,
but yeah.
Next up, we have performance by an actress in a leading role. We have Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story.
I didn't see that. I heard it was.
How do you say her name? Ronan's her last name.
Yeah. I actually don't know how to say
I've
her
heard
name,
it said,
and
like now I'm blank. Yeah. Saoirse Ronan. That's it. In Little Women, Charlize Theron in Bombshell, and then Renee Zellweger in Judy. Did you see Judy?
I didn't see Judy.
Yeah, the only movie I saw from this is Marriage Story, and I could have seen Scarlett Johansson winning it.
Yeah.
And I think it's for that one like. What is like a 6-7 minute like monologue by her, and like she doesn't skip a beat when she goes into like the divorce lawyer's office for the first time.
Yeah,
like after that scene,
I was like,
that's the scene
they highlight. Like you saw that in the trailer. She's just like, "How you feeling?" And she just starts bawling. Like, oh, she's gonna win Best Actress. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought I actually didn't see all those movies because those movies you said like Bombshell, Harriet. I didn't. If I heard they were good movies, I would have watched them.
Nothing about Harriet,
but they're just like best. I heard it was pretty bad. I heard it wasn't like representative of the actual Harriet Tubman. She was really good, I heard, but it wasn't a good representation of like history and all that stuff. You got a lot of shit for that. But so I probably won't watch those movies. But yeah, like like Bombshell. You said Bombshell. What were the other ones? I didn't see Little Woman yet.
Little Women,
I guess I'll probably see that.
And Judy and Marriage Story.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Those movies that are more like they were driven by just having a good actress. I don't think the movies themselves were great.
Right.
So that's
that's kind of like
movies.
what I got the vibe with Judy. It's like, oh, Renee Zellweger's
Sounds
in it.
sexist all of a sudden.
Throw me under the bus. Next up, we have performance by an actress in a supporting role: Kathy Bates and Richard Jewell. Laura Dern in Marriage Story, she won.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson in Jojo Rabbit. I have not seen Jojo Rabbit, and I'm fucking pissed.
I haven't seen that yet. I was really pissed that it hasn't been on Rent yet.
Florence.
Now since I haven't seen
Pugh. I think it's Pugh.
Yeah, Florence Pugh.
Pugh.
I'll say Pugh.
In Little Women, and Margot Robbie in Bombshell. Here's why
I didn't even know what Bombshell was until Oscar weekend.
I saw some trailers for it. I knew what it was.
It's the Fox News one, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I thought it was a
here's
show.
my issue with Laura Dern winning for Marriage Story. I hate her character.
Yeah,
in the
I don't
movie.
like her either.
She's not like she is a like. I mean, like there's no villain in that movie, but she is a fucking.
She's hateable. Yeah.
I'm
not a big fan of her.
I guess that maybe she did play the role that well, and
Yeah.
I'm having that reaction. I
Yeah.
think I was talking to my mom about it. I'm like, I hated her character in that movie just because she's so like despicable and mean.
Yeah.
But I guess that's was the goal, right?
I wasn't like I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of her. I think they kind of play. She seems like she's like the next like Meryl Streep as someone who's just like
Really.
She walks in a room and they just like give her a round of applause for being her. It kind of seems like that. I think she's good, but I don't know. Like I was turned off by her in like Star Wars and.
Oh yeah, she's weird
I
in
don't
Star
know.
Wars. I feel like she's always in like
She's
supporting
good.
roles. I
Yeah.
mean, she's a main character in like Jurassic Park.
I had I had Pugh, but I didn't have her for. I had her winning for. Actually, I didn't have her winning. I didn't have her as the best one, but I had her. I thought she should have been for Midsommar, the horror movie. I thought she was amazing in that, but they had her for Little Women for a role, for was it Best Actress or in a supporting role?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Best Actress I thought was Awkwafina actually, and I
What
saw
did
that
she
movie.
win for? She did win.
She won. She probably won. I think she won the Golden Globe for Best Actress.
Was
I
it?
thought she should have won for Oscar. I
Didn't
think
she
it
win
was
something
Golden
on the
Globe.
Oscars?
She was on the Oscar.
Am I mashing these together?
She was not on the Oscar list, which I thought was crazy. She was really good.
Yeah, you're right. It is the Golden Globes.
And that's
yeah.
an awesome movie. It's an A24 movie. It's about like her grandmother in China. She has like terminal cancer, but in China
And they like don't tell
they
her.
don't tell her. That's the way it is in China. It's
But
pretty
they're
cool.
there
They
to
compare
like
our
essentially
societies.
like say goodbye, but like they
yeah,
never
she
tell
doesn't
her.
know, and
And then she ends up.
She ended up like living past her.
Yeah.
I think she's still living today, which
Yeah.
is like I just ruined the movie for you. But yeah, that was a really good movie. I was kind of shocked they didn't put her in that. I guess because she's like a comedian and they didn't really take her seriously. And I'm assuming
Right,
that like
that is a
all
very
the Oscar people didn't even watch that.
It's
movie.
a very different role for her.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure the last movie she was in was Crazy Rich Asians,
yeah. I didn't see that, but
which is like
Yeah.
obviously a comedy.
Yeah.
Next up we have Best Animated Feature, which we have How to Train Your Dragon, I Lost My Body, Klaus, which is a Netflix Christmas movie, which I thought was funny.
I heard Klaus was really good. That's actually what I'll probably see.
And then we have Missing Link and Toy Story 4, which is like. I said, I'm like, I just hope Toy Story doesn't win. I haven't seen Toy Story 4 yet.
I actually love Toy Story 4. I went like on a like me and my brother and my cousin were just like, yeah, we're just gonna see Toy Story 4.
Right.
And,
I definitely need to watch it.
Yeah. I thought it was like Jesus Christ, like to have another Toy Story movie. I thought the same
That's
thing.
kind of where I am with it.
Like they ended it in the
I
Toy
think
Story 3.
3 was
from
so
what I remember,
good.
and it was good. But I actually thought Toy Story 4 was really good. I was kind of surprised. It was actually like it was pretty funny. They had a like Keegan and Peele in that movie too.
Yeah,
they were actually like really funny.
They're like
in
stuffed
their,
animals
in
in
their
like
roles.
a circus thing.
But no,
right?
I should thought that was really good. If you like the Toy Story movies, you should definitely see that.
Yeah. I've just going back to it. I've heard a lot of good things about Klaus. But
Yeah,
it was funny because I
know.
saw it like watching Netflix. It was like, oh, they have like a new animated Disney, not
Yeah.
Disney exclusive for Netflix, and then it's up for an Oscar. Oh, okay.
The first thing I heard like Klaus, I thought of that. I never saw it, but isn't that like that horror Christmas movie that came out a couple years ago? I think it was named something similar.
Krampus?
Yeah, Krampus. I
Yeah.
never saw. That's the first thing that like popped in my head for whatever reason. When
I
heard
feel like that makes
there's gonna
sense.
be Klaus. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Next up, we have Achievement Cinematography, Irishman. Why? The Joker. Lighthouse, 1917, which won, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think it's like I love 1917. That was my film of the year.
Yeah,
and it just, like.
Yeah,
there's like that's a no-brainer.
I thought it had to be that just because of
the way it's shot
just
and
the
like
way the 2-take thing is incredible. I don't know if every movie was like that. Every movie would be like I would. That's the one movie you can't. Like, there's no way you fall asleep to that movie.
Is the Lighthouse filmed
because of the cinematography?
Is the Lighthouse filmed in like a normal way?
It's black and white. It's like black and white. It's other than that, no, yeah, it's pretty normal. But that's pretty much what it was. That and. I mean, it was just a really cool, like, the setting of that movie was on a lighthouse, and it's like, I was kind of glad that movie was up for cinematography, but 1917 had to win, because that movie was incredible.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie so much. Achievements in directing, we have The Irishman, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite, who is the winner.
Yeah, Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho, the fucking G of the Oscars.
Yeah, all these guys were awesome. I thought once you found out it was Bong Joon-ho, you're like, all right, he's gonna win Best Picture now, because it's almost always whoever wins Best Director wins Best Picture. I mean, again, this was an amazing year for movies, so I don't really have a problem with any of those people in it. You know, they throw Scorsese in there because
they have to.
They have to, but and I could have been behind Irishman as a movie. It's literally that the CGI sucked, but like it's literally that one scene where I just saw it again today. It's the scene where he stomps on the guy's hand because he like touches his daughter. I don't know if you remember that scene
in the Irishman.
Yeah, like once I saw that, I'm like, how can he be a director and not look at that and go? He like
the window, or does he
throw him out of the door?
Yeah, what breaks the window?
And then like to cap it off, they have like 80-year-old Robert De Niro like kick the guy in the face. It's like 100 miles. It's like the slowest kick I've ever seen in my life. And then he like stomps on him, and you can clearly tell how old the guy is.
I have like that movie.
Yeah,
it's just like
that's what disappointed me in the movie. It was
there's so many issues.
You could have moved your camera, just got some young stunt double.
Yeah,
and just
fucking
it would have made it like
him.
So much more realistic, and that ruined the movie for me in a lot of ways.
I'm sure he had a lot of things against it, because I mean, like that doesn't seem like there was any sort of.
He shouldn't be in best. I love Scorsese, but he should not be in Best Director. Like just for that, to look at the CGI and be like, yeah, this is okay. Like just find other actors.
Yeah, the CGI was like okay for the most part, but yeah, just like it's like Robert De Niro looks old in real life. Like he's what, in his 80s, and it's just like you can't age an 80-year-old man down to like fucking like I still really don't know how old is he supposed to be in the beginning of that movie when he's the youngest.
He's like 40s, and he's like, from what I looked up, I think he was like a lot of those scenes were when he was like 40 to like 50, and then there's obviously when he's older. And that's when it actually is I thought the best like the best part of the movie as far as like if you're gonna like give it an award was the end of the movie where he actually everything's over and he has to live with himself and try and make amends with his family. That's where I thought the movie was pretty good.
Yeah, them aged
but it took
up.
Forever to get there.
It's fun. Yeah, it took you 3.5 hours to get there. Yeah, and then the movie is not bad, but like here's where the movie starts and it never goes up and it never goes down. It just stays at this plateau level the entire time. It's just okay the entire way through.
It's just kind of like an homage. Like it's kind of just the last movie for all those guys, which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't think it was going to be like better. I knew it wasn't going to be better than Goodfellas or better than Casino or any of those movies, but I knew it was going to be a watchable movie. And it's Pesci, Pacino, De Niro, and Scorsese, so people are going to
watch it. Yeah,
but it didn't live up to expectation.
Right, it's not a good
as a Best Picture movie or Best Director.
Did you watch any of the documentaries? I have it in here, but I figured
I only saw American Factory, and that's pretty awesome.
Okay, so American Factory won. What do you have to say?
That should have won. That's the only one I saw. I forget, there was one more I think I did want to see, but no, that was really good. That was pretty cool. It's just like it's kind of funny. It's kind of like Parasite. It's like or not Parasite. It's kind of like Farewell in a way. They're kind of just like they're comparing societies. Like the Chinese society, they come over, they try to give all these American people their jobs back in this one plant that shut down. But no, I mean it's really good. If you're curious about like kind of how automation might affect our country, just watch that movie. and all the factories.
Is it a long one or is it like?
I think it's like 2 hours. It was like 2 hours. I mean, it's pretty good. Though.
I'm not like super into documentaries, but like occasionally I will watch.
Yeah, that's
some.
That's a more like cinematic documentary. It's not like it's entertaining. It's not like just an informational documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really do. They do a good job of like they kind of show the character of this like rich China CEO comes over, buys the plane out, and he's very ignorant, and he just the people in the movie just shit on American culture, like because the people in China just they work for slave wages, but they love it. Whereas they bring that culture over to here, they thought it would work, and it's a disaster. Right. So it's pretty good. Yeah.
Interesting. Next up, we have Best International Feature Film. Parasite ended up winning that.
I didn't see the other ones. I think there's like Pain and Glory and
I don't even really want an answer to this. I don't even know what Parasite is really about.
Yeah, it's kind of just I guess the movie was kind of just comparing the classes over.
I need to watch it.
Yeah, it's class war. That's what the movie is.
But not that it's not obvious what it's about. And I know it's like a thriller comedy. So
yeah, the guy. I don't know if you ever saw Snowpiercer.
I
never saw that, but apparently the guy does a good job of like merging genres, and that's what Parasite was. It was like part comedy.
Cool. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, it's like part comedy, part thriller, part like almost part horror at some points. But I thought it was really good. I didn't think it was Best Picture, obviously, but that's the direction they went.
So next up we have Best Original Score, Joker, who won. Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. She won the Golden Globe for this as well. And I only I like music a lot, and usually Marvel movies are notoriously bad or notorious for having like absolute very like bass soundtracks, and they suck.
Who's their usual like guy? I know,
they don't use the same dude, but shit. I know like score people just from like listening to video game scores and movie scores. But it's just like they don't cycle them, but like it's definitely like Henry Jackman did Winter Soldier, and I think Winter Soldier's score is the best Marvel. Okay. One, it's my favorite Marvel movie. Two, it has a really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
I've listened back to Joker's soundtrack, and it's really good, but like I didn't get that sense from the movie that it was good.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the one that actually I don't know if it was nominated at this point. I forget, but I thought Uncut Gems. I thought that was like. I thought they were all really good. Obviously, they're nominated, but I don't know that movie. Like the soundtrack actually makes you. It actually like it's like right in your face, and it has a huge part of the movie. Mm-hmm. Like it really contributes to like the anxiety of that movie.
Yeah, that might be why I didn't notice it.
Yeah,
because it was.
Yeah, like I honestly like when they said Joker, I'm like I kind of forget like what it even was.
Right, but in the 1917, like that
it's
score,
like war, it's passionate, like up,
right,
kind of
like that last scene of the movie. Like there's not much going on. Like you're watching something. It's not like there's like dialogue, but like it's the music that's like there for you.
I saw Joker when it first came out, and I think this movie was like probably one of the movies that came out earliest of all the movies. So I honestly maybe that's why I forget what it sounded like.
Joker was when?
Joker was
May.
I think in the May. And then I think once, like I'm trying to think of like the
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was July.
That was summer. Was summer. 1917 was like the most recent, so that's why I kind of know the sound. But yeah, I forget what the sound was honestly.
True.
But yeah,
it's a good point. That happens a lot with games. The games that come out earlier in the year tend to get forgotten, or don't win a lot, and are nominated. They just don't win.
Yeah.
Usually when these Oscar movies are all coming out in September, October, November, December, January. Yeah. I feel like Rise of Skywalker being in here is it's John Williams, all right.
Yeah, it's the same. It hasn't changed.
Right.
I think
I think
not much.
John Williams.
Yeah.
Good. Does a good job, but like everything sounds the same.
Yeah.
All his scores, especially Star Wars, it just gets old.
They made a couple different like soundtracks, I think, like for Rey, and then like
and they're noticeable because they're new. And then it's just like it's mostly the same stuff. And the guy who did Rogue One, they did his score. I actually think it's bad. It sounds like someone trying
really?
to imitate John Williams.
Oh, okay.
And I was just
I
like,
kind of like forget.
It's
I love that movie. I'll say I love that movie.
oh yeah,
That's my favorite.
It's a great movie.
Like new Star Wars movie.
It's really hard to do Star Wars scores when like John Williams
Yeah,
is
you
just
can't
like
really-
it's so iconic.
you don't want to. You can't change it because then you're gonna look awful.
Right.
But yeah.
Anyway, production design, we have The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, took that one home.
Yeah, that was. I was pretty. I like that move because that
Isn't
just
sh-
like I'm thinking of like the scene where like Brad Pitt just drives through, and those scenes are so cool. He just drives through L.A. and like it looks like it's the '60s L.A. So
Yeah. Isn't Jojo Rabbit really like bombastic, or is it kind of normal? Like, I feel like one of the clips I've seen of that movie, I feel like they're very like it's not like true 1940s wear. Like, I feel like things are popping a little bit more, like,
Yeah.
like within the sets and like what they're wearing.
yeah. I still don't really know what that movie. I know it's like kind of like a comedic take on Hitler. I think.
It's just
So I don't really know what that
from
movie
what
is,
I
but-
understand, it's just a kid whose like imaginary friend happens to be Hitler.
Hitler, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, honestly, I have no idea what design has to do with that movie. But yeah, like I said, it was up there.
Best achievement in visual effects. This is an interesting one, and I feel like some of these movies on here, it's just like, okay, I understand. But we have Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, Lion King, 1917, which won, and then Rise of Skywalker. And I'm kind of like, well, it's a visual effects award.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the movie that actually has
to
a
use it.
shit ton of visual
Yeah.
effects, like
You would think that
Endgame, Thanos is entirely a CG character.
Yeah.
Not to
They
like
actually
give
do a good job of CGI.
right,
Yeah.
not to give Endgame like credit at the Oscars, but like there's a lot of CGI in that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. No, I would agree.
Not
I mean,
the 1917 doesn't deserve it.
Irishman was up for it, right?
Yeah,
Like they're notorious for being bad at that. Like I don't know. I don't know why that was in there either. Like, they literally had a YouTube guy like a couple months later, like redo the CGI and it looked 100 times better.
Yeah.
So that should not have been there. Yeah, I agree. I
I
think it has to
kinda
go to a
feel
movie that
like-
actually has to
I
rely
feel like
on it. and-
Endgame should have won.
Yeah,
just
I think you're right.
just because of like Iron Man is all CGI for the most part. Same with like War Machine and like most of the Hulk, like they're all CGI.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand
Actually
how
looks real too.
that came out. Then I could have
good.
said, yeah, the Oscar award-winning Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Like I can say the Oscar award-winning Suicide
It kind of
Squad.
shows, like Scorsese is the one who shit on, but he said like Marvel's not cinema.
I mean, dude,
and he's up for the Oscar.
he got
and
beat up by a comic book
and then
movie.
Avengers in there, so Avengers is in there, so it kind of shows you how the Oscars thinks too. It's like they'll probably put you up for it, but they don't want to give you that credit. So.
Right. Best adapted screenplay: The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Two Popes. Jojo Rabbit took that one home. Taika Waititi.
Yeah, so I haven't seen that.
Coming in hot.
That's definitely. I'm gonna watch that once it's available.
It's interesting that Joker is an adapted screenplay, even though it's original story. It's not based off a comic book, other than the fact that the Joker is a comic book character.
Yeah. So
It's interesting how they like adapted. Like it's not really adapted. Like you just,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I'm
it was
not really sure
based
what
off a
goes in there
certain
with-
comic, I would get it, but it's
Yeah.
totally not.
Yeah.
Best original screenplay: Knives Out, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, and Parasite took that home. Knives Out, though.
I see you have a poster here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guessing you like the movie.
I did. I actually got so Billy Zagrafidis got that for me. He got it for himself, but his frame wasn't big enough, and he knew I had one, so he gave it to me.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen the movie yet, and I was wanting to, and like last Saturday before the Oscars, I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch Knives Out, and I just bought it.
Yeah, I would have picked that. Just
Fucking great.
Because it's like it's hard to do those kind of movies now, and they made it so it wasn't like cheesy and I don't know. It was like really old
It's
fashioned.
so well done.
Yeah,
It's old fashioned, but it's like in today.
it's hard to do. Like it's hard to live up to expectations with a movie with a huge cast. Like literally everyone in that movie is supposed to be a lead somewhere
Besides Ana de Mars, who I really like, but like she is
she's
like
the only one you
the
didn't
least
didn't really
known.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
I
really
thought
like her.
I thought that movie was awesome, and yeah, I would have picked that.
But is Once Upon a Time Hollywood an original script? It's based off real events.
I guess that Once Upon a Time, it's probably like a children's book somewhere or something.
You think?
I don't know. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sounds like a very, generic title. I don't know.
Oh no, wait. No, this is original. Oh wait, no.
Original
Yeah.
screenplay.
No. Yeah, okay, no,
So
that's
it
right.
would be one that's
Yeah, but like it's based off real stuff. Same with 1917. Like it's kind of weird.
I guess 1917 is based off. Well, it is based off real people, but yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder how they.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure what the conversation is for like these people have for these awards.
It's interesting.
Everything in the Oscars is subjective, but like these are the ones that are like.
Because I listen to podcasts where like people are like, Uncut Gems was totally snubbed of anything.
Right. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I've heard very good things about Uncut Gems and very bad things about Uncut Gems.
I thought it was awesome. It's like it's an anxiety movie. It's like you're gonna be like
stressed out.
This is just fucking like it's. I'm not sure. This is like
true story.
It's based on. It's not a true story, but I think it's like I don't know. No, I don't think it's a true story. Actually, I have no idea. But like the directors of that movie are like the up and coming directors, and they had to like get Santa to buy into that movie and do it. Like it's really cool how that movie was made. I don't know, and I just think Sandler's a way underrated actor. Obviously, he will never get credit as an actor because of all the 100 movies he did.
But like
he actually has done some really good like drama movies. That I think of Punch Drunk Love. I thought he was awesome in. And then there's another movie, Rain on Me. He's a really good drama actor.
There's a movie he's in with Don Cheadle.
Yeah, that's
Is that
Rain on Me? It's actually a really good movie, and you like forget when you forget that it's Adam Sandler in the movie. That's when you know he's doing a good job. Yeah, and that's what he did with Uncut Gems too. It's like you don't really think of him as Adam Sandler.
Does he give
the movie?
Does he give a reason as to why he does a lot of comedies and then like randomly like makes like really like hard hitting dramas? And
yeah, I mean, I think the comedies are his moneymaker, and then they've been tanking recently. So he's like, all right, I'll try something new. He did this movie. It's a really long title. I forget. I watched the movie. It was on Netflix. It's like the Meyerowitz stories. It's like him and Ben Stiller, and he was playing a serious actor. Now he was really good. So then he got another serious call to do Uncut Gems. And I was really pumped when I heard he was going to do it because the directors of this movie had another movie with Robert Pattinson like a couple of years ago. It's called Good Time. It's on Netflix now. It's like a similar movie. It's just an anxiety movie, but it's really good. Yeah,
interesting. So last award, obviously, Best Motion Picture. We had Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story.
Yeah.
1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and the winner, Parasite.
Yeah.
And, I'm not sure if that movie deserves it, but I think it's cool that it did win.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool, too. I don't know. I think, like, the Oscars have always tried to, like, overthink and, like, overthink the best picture. Like, last year was Green Book, and I think people already forgot about that movie.
Oh,
I don't think people are going to forget about Parasite, but it's like, if I'm looking like 10 years down the road, I think people are going to look back and be like, how the fuck did 1917 not win Best Picture? Like, that's like there's only so many movies in the world that have like one or two takes, and it's that. It's Birdman, which they had for Best Picture, and that was a good pick. Like, it's so hard to do that, and it was a really good movie on top of that.
Yeah.
So I just thought that should have been Best Picture.
Doesn't a Hitchcock movie do one take?
Yeah, I think he did.
Or is it just the opening? Because I know there's like it's 10 minutes. And
I think he's like the one who kind of started that whole thing. I haven't seen his movies, honestly, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, Parasite was awesome. I saw that like with my brother. We were going to see Irishman.
Did you see it in theaters?
I did. It was like select. It was
I
was at like Bryn Mawr.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to see Irishman in theaters, but that was sold out. So we were already trying to watch a movie, and I'm like, yeah, well, let's see this Parasite. It has a good IMDb score, and it was really good.
It's a good thing you saw it.
It's really good. I think people they got really excited because like, oh, it's an international film that I actually like. It's like it got like a boost, I think, for that in its sense, and it's really good. But I don't think it was Best Picture, but I'm cool with it because obviously they the best part of the Oscars was throwing Bong Joon-ho up there. 5 times, and he ran out of lines after like his second time. He's like, I just want a drink. So like I was cool. I was really cool with the pick.
Yeah, like honestly, like South Korea winning their first Oscar and then 4 all in the same night. That's huge.
Oh yeah,
it's got to be big for them.
It's a pretty bold. I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised it won because of that because it's not an American movie and they literally have their own separate category
Korean especially
for international movies. But yeah. I'm good at one.
So, was Parasite your pick?
Mine was 1917. Right. That's the movie I still want to see again right now. And it's like
it's so good.
Like the way I judge movies is like if you like once you watch it, like if you're thinking about the next day and you want to go see it again, like that's how I view a really good movie. Like Parasite, I don't think I want to see it. It was really good, but I don't think I want to go see it again. I'm not like rushing to see it again. Whereas like Once Upon a Time, 1917, like I want to see those movies again.
Yeah, 1917 just felt like really powerful.
Yeah.
Just the way it was shot, as we talked about, but like also the fact that like the two actors, besides the one guy being not Joffrey, what the fuck's his name? You know,
say the same thing. I know.
What the hell's his name? Tom. Yeah. Tom and Baratheon.
He'll never be known as his real name. Everyone's going to say, oh, the Tom guy. He was in that movie.
And then, those two are like nobodies. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then like when they get to generals, I'm like, oh, look who it is.
Yep.
like, it didn't really like take me out of
nice
it.
Touch,
but I think it was cool.
But it's funny because like I feel like the British actors from Game of Thrones are always going to be like connected because there was the other guy. He's a very small role, but I don't know if you've seen Game of Thrones, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Do you know like do you know the scene where Arya is like in the woods and she comes across like Ed Sheeran and his crew?
Yeah,
that guy, the guy who like was talking with the black hair. He was in 1917 too for a very brief role.
Oh, really?
So there's a lot of like Game of Thrones connections.
And then
in that movie.
Richard Madden, I think is his name, who plays Robb Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit!
I only know by the Stark name.
There
like,
he is. I was just like, I didn't know he was in this movie.
That was cool. It was a nice little like Game of Thrones connection. It sucks for
and
those
it was
guys
good.
They're like great scenes and they're actually great actors, but they're always going to be known as like their Game of Thrones names unless they come out of their shell and do their own movies.
After he finished Game of Thrones, like he was in Cinderella.
He was in Bodyguard or whatever. The Netflix show. No, that's him, right? Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's like I heard it's really good. It's like a British Netflix show where he's like the bodyguard to a political candidate, I think, and
never
he's
heard of
under
it.
attack all the time. But I heard it was really good. But I guess he's kind of known for that. But other than that, yeah, he has to carve his own name for
his
himself.
His name
now.
is Robb Stark.
Yeah.
that's all you need to know him as. Yeah, that and then, like he's in that movie real quick and like
I saw him on the
powerful.
cast list, so I was waiting for it.
Did you see Ford versus Ferrari?
I was trying to watch it last night and I fell asleep, so I'll probably finish it today, but it shouldn't have been for best.
All right, yeah, you did
it's
say
not
that.
I mean, I don't know. Unless you really like Matt Damon, you're not. It's not a. I don't know. It's like Christian Bale and Matt Damon. I don't know. It's just those two guys. They're both great actors, I guess, but like Matt Damon is trying to play this like badass driver guy who, like implements this amazing Ford car, and it's not believable. I don't know. It's a good movie. It's an entertaining movie, but I don't think it's like a best picture movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 20 other movies this year that should have been in there.
Do you like Quentin Tarantino?
I love him.
Okay. What is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood your best one?
Best picture?
Yeah.
I had 19.
Or not your best picture, but like
best Tarantino movie?
Yes. Sorry.
That's Django's my favorite Tarantino.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my
Same.
That's probably like one of my 5 favorite.
That
movies
movie
of
is
all time.
so fucking good.
That movie was just like perfect to me.
For no reason.
Perfect movie.
It had no reason to be good.
Yeah,
and it's just
I didn't
why
think
is
it was gonna be
so good?
I didn't think it was gonna be that good. Like when I was watching that movie, I'm like, oh, I like Quentin. But then like I came back to that movie, I was like, holy, that movie was fucking amazing.
Great. Yeah.
Like it's kind of the same thing with Once Upon a Time. It's it's not as entertaining, I guess, but it's still the end scene of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like one of the best scenes of all time. So that's kind of like where I would recommend Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You're gonna suck if you're an average moviegoer and you don't like love Tarantino. You're gonna suffer through the first, I guess, 2 hours of the movie. But the ending of that movie is incredible.
Dude, I really like those suffering for those 2 hours.
No, I love
really
all
did.
of that movie. I loved like the pit dream scene. Like that was amazing.
I forgot. I mean, I guess this is a slight spoiler, but I mean, if you've paid attention to this movie, you probably know. I had no. Like, I forgot. I remember when they were first writing this movie, and they came out and being like, "Oh, Quentin Tarantino's next movie is going to be about the Manson murders and." The death of Sharon
it's like
Tate.
I'm gonna like watch that first night.
And then like once we got to that part, and I was like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot what this movie is about." Because like the whole time, I'm like, "What the fuck are we building up to?" Here?
I was waiting for some like clash with actual Charlie Manson, but he's in it for like he's in the movie for like.
And I didn't even realize it was him.
I almost think they like had him in that movie just to like he was every scene in that movie that he's in. is in the trailer, it's almost like, oh, come watch this like movie about the
Charles
Mansons.
Manson,
and
yeah.
it's not really about him at all. It's just about like his crew plays a small part. But no, that movie was awesome. I'll watch that movie again too. Like, it's one of those movies. If it comes on TV, I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll just watch that movie. Like, it's one of those.
What'd you think about Hateful Eight?
I liked it. I didn't like it as much.
I need to rewatch it. It's slow and
yeah.
like it's definitely a movie you need to watch twice because of like what you like learn at the end.
That's it. Like Tarantino, I think it's almost like he makes his movies almost long for, like I think on purpose in a way. Like he wants his big scenes to be built up so much. Mm-hmm. Whereas if that's an hour and a half movie, which it could be, you can cut out parts of Once Upon a Time. You can cut out parts of Hateful Eight and make it shorter. But those big scenes wouldn't mean as much. I think
lose
and
their pizzazz.
that's why I think his movies are always so long and sometimes drawn out. But yeah.
Do you have anything else that you want to bring up? Any movies that we didn't necessarily talk about?
Yeah, I'll put. I have like 20 movies. I'll go through. There's a lot of movies that like I don't think people have heard about that I would recommend. Let me where did I put it? Okay, yeah, I have like 20 movies here. I'm trying to think of a movie I would definitely recommend that you haven't seen. I mean, I think if you haven't seen, if you like Adam Sandler, go see Uncut Gems. It's really cool to see him in a different role. Other than that, Peanut Butter Falcon's a movie that wasn't given any credit.
And Honey Boy.
Yeah, I haven't seen Honey Boy yet, but I'm going to see that.
Yeah, I need to see that.
I forget his name already, but the special needs kid in Peanut Butter Falcon should have won. He should have been up for an award. He was so good. Like you could tell how nervous the kid was like trying to.
I didn't know what he was from. Like he's got to be from
Oscars.
something.
And it was incredible. He was able to actually act in that entire him in that movie. I have so much more respect for that kid after watching him try to read lines in the Oscars. It was so tough for him, but the movie was incredible. He was so good in the movie. Like he was a great actor.
Does he have a lot of lines?
Yeah, he says it's basically him and Shia LaBeouf the entire movie. It's just it's kind of like a what do you call it? It's a Tom Sawyer book. The fuck? Like Huck, it's like a Huck thing.
Oh, they're
it's like an old adventure tale.
Not like buddy cop, but
yeah, just like Shia
buddies.
LaBeouf's on the run and he brings along this kid who just wants to get out and. That movie was really good. Like
I've heard a lot of good
underrated
things.
Too as an actor.
Yeah, a lot of podcasts I listen to talk about Peanut Butter Falcon.
That movie was really good. It was really entertaining. It was funny. But that kid should have been up for best supporting actor. He was so good.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, like everyone would have loved that. Like that was one of the things I was disappointed about. Like, there was a lot of like take Pesci out. You know Pesci's not going to be at the Oscars. He's a great actor. I agree putting him on that list because he's so great. But that kid was so good. He deserved to get more attention for that movie.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm trying to think what else I had up here. Another good movie is Last Black Man in San Francisco. No one really knows about that movie, but
I've heard of it.
It's a really good A24 movie. That probably should have been up for best cinematography too. There's really cool shots in that movie. It's kind of a slow movie, but it's about these guys who are trying to buy back their dad and their grandpa's house, and they go through struggles. It's really good. But no, other than that, I think there's every movie that was up for Best Picture, up for an award, is definitely worth seeing compared to the last couple of years.
Yeah. It's really interesting how this year I just felt like the movies were just better, and I don't know if it's because I knew about a lot about all of them or what it was, but it's just a lot of good movies this year, and then next year it'll be and then something okay, we'll win.
I haven't really even heard about anything that's going to be. I mean, as far as Best Picture wise, I know the movie off the top of my head I know I'm going to see is the next Christopher Nolan movie that's coming out in the summer.
Looks sick.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Robert Pattinson, man.
Oh god, yeah, he's on the rise.
From out of nowhere, and I know he's been in a lot of indies films.
Yeah,
and when I heard he was cast as Batman, I was kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, nah, dude, he's been in a lot of good movies, but they aren't getting a lot of attention.
Good Time is another one he's really good in. I have to say I'm this guy is the guy from Twilight.
Twilight, yeah, that's what people know him as.
But yeah, and the other guy in the other what's the guy's name in Twilight? The other guy who's falling off a cliff. It's crazy how much he's had to do. Yeah. But Pattinson has had to do a lot of these small movies to build himself back up to fame. Now he's got Batman.
Not a joke.
He's got a Christopher Nolan movie, which is guaranteed to launch your career. and he's Batman now. So that guy's gonna be the next.
What did you
big
think
thing.
about that little teaser? I'm sure.
Tenet. Oh, I'm gonna watch it the first night it comes
You know,
out.
so the main actor, the black guy, is a football player.
Yeah, that's Denzel's son.
That's who that is?
Yeah, Denzel Washington's son.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's John David Washington.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my friend like Googled like, who the fuck this is? And,
he's
like,
in,
he's like a football player, and like
He's in, Christ, the Spike Lee movie last year, Black Klansman.
yeah.
He was in that. He was really good in that. So that,
Oh,
that movie's
wow.
gonna be awesome, man.
Cool.
It's Christopher Nolan, and it's messing around with like time.
It's
It's like that's all. That's all you need to know.
I'm
It's
like, oh, it's gonna be like another Inception.
like he messed with gravity and Inception, gravity and time and Inception, and now he's doing just like time and like movement, and it looks so much like Inception, but I don't care. It looks amazing.
It kind of gives me like, in a way, maybe this is kind of weird, Arrival vibes.
A little
There's this
bit,
like
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
unknown factor. Like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
fuck's going on?
Yeah,
And people like freaking the fuck
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I'll rate that a 10. Like, right, I know it's gonna be like a 10 out of 10 movie. It's just one of those movies.
I remember seeing Inception in theaters, and I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah. I was like
In like middle
like
school.
16 or 17 or probably younger.
Was it?
I
Yeah.
had no idea what happened in that movie, and I'm like, that movie's amazing. Like I'm gonna watch that again.
Yeah, fucking Tom.
yeah. Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's all we got. Yeah. I think
Cool.
That's all I have at least for now. Yeah. Yeah. I have other movies, but I think we mentioned all of them. So.
Well, I'm hoping that next year we have another good Oscar award
Yeah.
show, and it's not like just meh. Because
Honestly,
like
like,
every
if-
year I do watch the Oscars, and I
Yeah.
do like award shows. I won't
Yeah.
lie. Some people are like, I feel like either watch the Oscars and don't like talk
They
about it,
hate
or
it,
they
yeah.
go, I fucking hate award shows.
Yeah, I kind of had that. I just love movies. I don't really. I love the movies way more than Oscars, so I watch because I like movies. But I get the same sense sometimes. Like IFC had their own award. They had Independent Film Awards this year. It was like all the A24 movies, and I actually thought that award show was way better. So I would recommend watching that over
Because there's a
Oscars
wider
if you
breadth of movies.
Yeah, and it was actually all the movies that were good. But yeah.
So that does it for us here. If you've been watching live on twitch.tv/Delco
this is
Network, it has been live. Thank you. We appreciate it. If you aren't live, obviously, you can check this podcast out on all your favorite podcast apps: Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. iHeartRadio is new. We're just got on that, and as well as YouTube. If you just search Delco Network on any app, you should find us. You can follow us at Delco Nerds at Twitter and Instagram. All this information can be found on our website, www.delconerdnetwork.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy. We'll see you next time.